Hello everyone, welcome to Corporality Global. In this episode we are discussing how Airbnb became successful. Let's get right into it. In 2007, both Chesky and Jebbia were graduates of the Rhode Island School of Design, one of the most prestigious art and design schools in the world. Chesky was an industrial design major, whereas Jebbia double majored in industrial and graphic design. After graduating, Chesky and Jebbia left the East Coast behind and moved to San Francisco. However, neither men had stable full-time work lined up. Before long, the two friends were hit with an unexpected increase in their rent. They needed cash fast. This financial predicament, combined with an upcoming design conference, gave Jebbia an idea. With so many industrial designers coming to town for the IDSA/ICSID Connecting Congress, one of the largest industrial design events in North America, Jebbia noticed that virtually every single hotel room in the city was booked. Where were all of these designers supposed to stay? So they set up a simple website named AirBnB with pictures of their loft-turned-lodging space, complete with 3 air mattresses on the floor and the promise of a home-cooked breakfast in the morning. This site got them their first 3 renters, each one paying $80, and after that first weekend they began receiving emails from people around the world asking when the site would be available for destinations, like Buenos Aires, London, and Japan. Chesky and Jebbia had successfully completed their very first trial run. The earliest incarnation of Airbnb might have felt and seemed a little punk rock, but it was actually almost perfectly situated between the two extremes of the hospitality sector. On one end of the spectrum, there were the high-end chain hotels and boutique guest houses that were popular but very expensive across San Francisco. At the other end were hostels and budget motels, both of which were in comparatively short supply in the city by the bay. The following spring, they enlisted former roommate and engineer Nathan Blecharczyk to help them get AirBnB off the ground. They planned the launch around the Democratic National Convention in order to capitalize on the resulting lack of hotel space. One of Airbnb's greatest strengths and competitive advantages wasn't just the service's proposed price point. Chesky and Jebbia wanted to commoditize trust in the accommodation sector by creating a marketplace, where trust was integral to the entire experience. Finding a reasonably priced place to stay during a conference wasn't difficult. There were dozens if not hundreds of listings on sites like Craigslist offering cheap rooms. What was difficult, however, was finding a cheap room for the night where guests could trust their hosts and get a good night's sleep without keeping one eye open. The notion of trust would later underpin the entire Airbnb experience and become an integral part of Airbnb's unique value proposition. Summer of 2008. Having struggled to identify typical sources of funding such as venture capital investment, the two men began brainstorming ways they could raise funds and try to scale their burgeoning operation. At the time, presidential election had taken center stage in the news cycle. Congressman Barack Obama was campaigning to become the first black president in American history. Longtime Republican Senator John McCain was Obama's conservative opponent. They bought a ton of cereal and designed special edition election-themed boxes, released that fall, Obama O's and Captain McCain's, which they sold at convention parties for $40 a box. They sold 500 boxes of each cereal, helping them to raise around $30,000 for AirBnB. Nevertheless, AirBnB soon joined Y Combinator's 2009 winter class, receiving another $20,000 in funding. They renamed the business Airbnb, and soon received another $600,000 in a seed round from Sequoia Capital and Y Ventures. To tap into this market, Airbnb offered users who listed properties on Airbnb the opportunity to post them to Craigslist as well, despite the fact that there was no sanctioned way from Craigslist to do so. It's difficult to imagine how Airbnb could have accomplished any more with a single growth hack. Of course, while the Craigslist growth hack tends to get a lot of attention, it was far from the only driver of growth during Airbnb's crucial early growth period. Like so much of what makes Airbnb such a compelling platform, design played an integral role in the company's growth. Both Chesky and Jebbia had been inspired by the design aesthetic and ideas of the late Apple co-founder, Steve Jobs. The two friends were both driven to apply similarly streamlined design principles to Airbnb, most notably the application of Jobs' 3 clicks principle. Just as Jobs wanted iPod users to be no more than 3 clicks away from playing a song, Chesky and Jebbia wanted Airbnb users to be no more than 3 clicks away from booking a room. The Airbnb's growth was remarkable. Through word of mouth and the power of the internet, The platform quickly gained popularity. By 2011, Airbnb had already hosted over 1 million guests, and by 2012, it expanded its services globally. The concept of staying in someone's home, sharing their space, and experiencing a destination like a local struck a chord with travelers around the world. Unlike traditional hotels, Airbnb offers travelers the opportunity to stay in personalized and distinctive accommodations. From cozy apartments and charming cottages to luxury villas and unique architectural wonders, the platform provides a vast array of choices to suit every traveler's preferences and budget. By staying in Airbnb accommodations, travelers can immerse themselves in local communities, exploring neighborhoods off the beaten path and experiencing the authentic culture of a destination. This personalized approach to travel has resonated deeply with individuals seeking a more genuine and meaningful experience. Beyond its influence on travelers, Airbnb has had a profound economic impact on cities across the globe. By attracting tourists to neighborhoods and areas that were previously overlooked, Airbnb has revitalized local economies. The increased tourism has resulted in job creation, entrepreneurship opportunities, and economic growth. As Airbnb continues to evolve and navigate the challenges it faces, it remains a symbol of the changing landscape of travel, encouraging individuals to explore destinations like never before. Airbnb has undeniably left an indelible mark on the way we explore and engage with the world. Despite almost overwhelming odds, Airbnb succeeded due to the tenacity and perseverance of its founders. Rather than be dissuaded by their lack of business experience, Chesky and Jebbia instead did whatever it took to grow their company and ultimately change the way we think about accommodations. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.